We're coming up to our last speaker, and then after that, we will have a short question and answer time. So it's my pleasure to introduce Shulamith Koenig, founder of the People's Movement, recipient of the UN Prize in the field of human rights. And Ms. Koenig will speak about girls changing their world to build human rights cities.
Thank you very much. You wonder what I'm doing here? I'm 3 times older than all your ages, and I'm here because of a phone call to Taiwan. I read that the Garden of Hope wants to create friendly cities for girls, and I said you can be friendly to a girl and yet not allow her to be equal. So let's call it human rights cities, which we have been doing since 1997. And human rights cities are a place where people learn what human rights means to their lives, and where people work together to change their life in the city, from laws to policies to budgets and to relationships. We do hope, from a paper that we have published, and the Garden of Hope is distributed around, that every girl in the world will become a monitor of human rights. We can only gain equality if we understand equality and if we talk about it with others. And the others mostly must be men. Unless we talk with men about their problems of power, and unless we move power to human rights, and I hope we make the pledge when I finish, how we move power to human rights, we really will not go anywhere. We can stop trafficking on one street and it will come on another. We can go ahead and stop pregnancies or create better forms of abortion, and it will be in another city, in another street. The thing is that we must change our own being to understand equality is not just a word, it has to be guided by human rights. And we have a wonderful statement that you can find. We wanted to bring it, but we left it behind. Anybody who wants to get a card, we can give it to you. What we are looking at in the human rights cities, we first learn what we call the 30 points of dignity, which is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. How many of you have read the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? Oh, quite a bit. Wonderful. Now, the thing is that most people in the world did not. Somebody mentioned Bangladesh here. And let me tell you, when a country ratifies, we don't have time to speak about it now, a convention or a covenant, it can't make reservations. A ratification means I ratify a convention or a covenant, and then I must scrutinize my laws accordingly. And the people don't know about it. Now, Bangladesh, a soft Muslim country, but still a Muslim country, when they ratified CEDAW, the Convention, the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women, it took 5 reservations, mostly with regard to marriage and inheritance and so on. But when the women of Bangladesh learned what human rights are, and that women are full human beings and deserve to be acted upon in such a way, they lobbied with government, and by now they have only 2 reservations left, and they are not giving up. Which means when governments ratify and the people don't know and don't request it, nothing really happens. So what I'm asking everybody who is here, and this is actually why I was invited to come here, and this is what we hope to have the Asian girls lead not only in Asia, but also in the United States, and the Asian men too. Give me a smile, good. So what we expect is that we put our heads together and we learn from the learners. And there are many ways to do it, which I can't go into now. But the most important thing I want to tell you, when we introduce a short version of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, whether we do it with ambassadors who think of themselves as very knowledgeable, or that we do it with young people in schools. And when they look at violation and realization in their lives, something happens to them. It's unbelievable what happens. Therefore, in our work, we don't human rights from a point of violation. We look at it from a point of realization. We say, hey, there is a hospital coming up in our village or in our town. It has 400 beds. Hallelujah. We have human right to health. But wait a minute. We need 600 beds. Otherwise, some of our human rights to health will be violated. By the way, we never speak of rights, only about human rights. So what they do is they map it, they say, oh, we need 200 beds additional. What happens? The girls in our city don't go to school. How much does it cost? And let me tell you a story. In TS Senegal, young men in school, women and men, learn that education is a human right. It's a human rights city called TS in Senegal. And they said, oh, my next door neighbor doesn't go to school. Is it because she's a girl? They said, no. When she was born as a girl, her parents didn't register her. So the kids in a community of 250 people, 250,000 people, 29 neighborhoods, got together between the ages of 12 and 16 and moved from house to house and registered in 3 years 4,000 children. And as they were registering them, they went to the mayor and asked for more and more schools, more and more teachers. And when I visited TS and visited the mayor, he said to me, you know, Shula, I'm sorry I didn't say it, but now I say it all the time. There is no other option but human rights. He was so impressed with what these young people did to register those who were not registered. And listen to that. They didn't learn just education as human rights. They learned human rights as a holistic vision and a practical mission. That it deals with food, education, housing, healthcare, work at livable wages, etc., etc. So they decided, oh, the city is so dirty. You tell us that health is a human right. And all the kids, for a few months, said to the mayor, we will clean the city. We will put all the garbage in the city in empty lots. But you must promise us, once the garbage is in those places, you will give us ongoing cleaning of the city. But I'm trying to tell you, the stories we hear here really humbles me and I don't want to go there. And they tell it so well, and sometimes it brings tears to everybody's eyes. But what I'm trying to say in all humility and with all respect to you young people, whatever you do, remember, the people you work with must know that you are doing human rights work. But not just in this specific issue. How it's related to relationship between men and women. How it's related economically, etc., etc. Because then you give power to your shoulders. Then you are not doing charity, you are moving charity to dignity. And let's remember, all human beings want to belong. And we want to belong in dignity in community. But when we are not allowed to do it, we exchange. It's very important to remember when you do your work. We exchange our equality for survival. And it's that mode that human rights learning can bring us to move from the mode of survival to maintain our dignity. And it was a man in Sudan who told me, you know, there is one thing that we all own. Nobody can take it away from us. It's dignity, unless it's oppressed. So we have to use this dignity and learn about human rights, which we call the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, called 30 Points of Dignity. Now, I would like, if you will allow me, to make a pledge with all of you to human rights. Would you like to get up? Or you don't want to? You don't want to either. So you can do it sitting, okay? And we can do a pledge together. Because if I can impose on you, really, and just advocate you, that what you need to do is anywhere you can to become a mentor of human rights, learn it and mentor others. It's the only way to equality. What? I have it. together. We will move power to human rights. We have no other option. And I'll finish with a very small story, which is the story of your lives. I happen to come from Israel. I wear a Palestinian state to say where I am as an Israeli. When I was 6 years old, I went to school, and my parents used to live in an Arab neighborhood and spoke Arabic well. I learned that the Jews are the chosen people. So I was very angry about it. I said, what do you mean? What about my Fatma, my best girlfriend? She's an Arab woman, an Arab girl. What do you mean she's not chosen? My father said to me, yes, you are chosen for social responsibility. And I guess all of us here, especially at the table, whom we have learned yesterday, we are all chosen for social responsibility. And the guideline for social responsibility must be human rights. Thank you very much.
Shulamith, thank you very much. Thank you.